So, okay, go ahead.
We'll start.
Didn't we start yesterday?
No.
Well,
Oh, did we?
yeah,
We went through the.
yeah,
we did
yeah.
go through the watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. I forgot we did go through the K.
Yeah, you usually
right.
just go.
We're
Let's
just
get to
about
the
to start the letters, right?
Okay, here we go. All right, you ready?
Am I right, Joe, or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
Okay,
right. I forgot about that.
All right.
All right, so let's start the mailbag. The first one is from Cal S. Subject is MJF leaving. Hope you're all well. Just wondered your thoughts on the MJF versus Omega match. Wonder why they would blow a match of this size on a random collision. But it could be they want to give the fans a match if MJ is leaving. 2004 is just around the corner. Is MJF having all the dream matches now, dropping the titles and then shooting to WWE? Not much reason for a match like that to be shoehorned in so quick. P.S. Watch some old NWO Wolfpack. Always good seeing the Disco and Conan, of course. Have a great day, guys. This is Callum. Yeah, this was a match that should have been built up with like 4 weeks of build. And they just announced it on a Wednesday, did interviews on Friday, and had it on Saturday. You know, I mean, it didn't draw.
No.
So, it's a colossal waste of a match that could have probably drawn a number on Dynamite.
The show itself did 319, which was down.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, I'll get the quarter hours because the quarter hours were interesting too. But go ahead, Conan. Sorry.
Well, this guy makes a good point. Maybe he's doing that because he's leaving. But here's the thing, bro. He's also done kind of like some JoJo matches, like that match that handicap match he had against two guys. Who knows these guys? You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, there was no build up to this. This was a big dream match, and maybe they put it on Collision because they're not getting good ratings and they're trying to get paid. And if they don't show on Collision, they can get good ratings. They're not going to get paid. That's what I'm thinking.
Let me bring up another point too, because Dave keeps what hurts their number.
Hey, you kind of cut out there. It was weird. You were silent and going in
because
and out.
every time I go in the Pro Wrestling Net, the Pro Wrestling
It plays
Net
something.
page,
Yeah,
it plays the podcast, right? So
Okay.
I get it. So
All
yeah, so okay.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is, they kind of like Dave tries to tell the story that all these things that hurt the number, like baseball and stuff like that. And bro, let me the problem with that is Dave's never like watched any of the counter programming. He always watches the wrestling, and he sees the numbers, and he goes, "Oh, this must have hurt." So how do you know it hurt the show? Why don't you talk to people that actually didn't watch the wrestling and watch baseball and see how much numbers that is? It's not it.
Well,
Let me tell you. I want to make a point. Let me finish this point.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This is why the show did a bad number. Okay, match number 1, Jay White versus AR. Now this is a 2-hour show with a big main event. Okay, Jay White versus
Is this
AR
Collision
Fox.
or is this Dynamite?
This is Collision. Okay,
Right.
Jay White versus AR Fox is the first
Right.
match. Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn versus two of the Twink boys that are with Dalton Castle, Brandon
Right.
Tate and Brent Tate. Okay, that's the second
Who?
match. Hikaru Shida versus Abaddon in a Fright Night fight for the AEW Women's Championship. Okay. Samoa Joe versus Rhett Titus for the Ring of Honor TV Championship. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Rhett Titus.
Dax Harwood versus Ricky Starks.
Right.
All right. And and Claudio Castagnoli versus Tracy Williams. Okay.
Ooh.
And then the main event.
Is that the old school guy, Tracy Williams? No.
No, I don't know who that is.
Right.
I guess he's just a jobber because he beat him in 42 seconds. Like that was a show.
I saw the show.
Would you, like I'm saying, did you think that was a good show? Like to wait
No.
around?
But here's a couple things I can say. So I'm sure that there's a little bit of validity to what Dave said, because I'm sure that when there's no sports on or no playoffs or nothing like that, the ratings are probably higher, just like WWE's are. But if you have a hot product and you have a good product, people are going to watch it.
Right.
Because WWE is still pulling in good ratings. And like yesterday, I was watching this thing that Joe sent me that I hadn't seen it in a long time, but it was when Sting and Roddy Piper and Medusa and Bobby Heenan were on Politically Incorrect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this show was on ABC, and I forgot how popular we were because Bill Maher actually said, "You get bigger ratings than I do." He goes, and you're getting bigger ratings than NFL football.
Yep, that was probably 99.
Nobody's doing that today. Yeah,
Right. No.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah,
So
Actually,
it just shows if you have a hot product, people will watch, unless it's a great close game or something that they're gonna watch the wrestling.
here's the funny thing.
But there's
They
nothing
also-
interesting enough to take them away from football.
Right. You're not going to watch Claudio Castagnoli versus Tracy Williams instead of the World Series or anything else. I mean, but bro, everything I read was giving you a chance to change the channel every single match that they came on TV. Right. But I do want to say this. It's funny because Dave was saying that it seems like NXT is kind of immune to the competition.
Right.
And NXT's been, but what's been the thing about NXT lately? The buzz has been they've been doing better shows, right?
Right. Yeah, they have. I'm watching them. I'm interested.
So like I think the thing is,
and they have and they have a more loose style. It isn't as regimented and corporate as SmackDown, and they have a very loose style.
Right. Yeah. Plus, but I think what the thing is that it shows you that if your product is good, like for the people are going to watch that instead of the other stuff. So this I think it's kind of obvious.
Well, let me say this real quick because I made a mistake on the ratings. AEW Collision actually got 472,000, but it was down from 518. And I wanted to say that I saw some cracks made about Omega MJF and how it didn't help, but it actually brought in about 100,000 viewers over the average of the rest of the show. So that was,
of course,
it brought in some eyes. Yeah.
But look how those other matches were.
Yeah.
And people knew this was going to be last, so they probably did. This is a perfect example. Bro, every week their numbers like they're it's a downward slope on their show. It starts off with like the best stuff, and like the main event usually is like the third best match on the show, right? But this show like built up to like the only good match in the show was the main event. So of course everybody tuned in for that one and just tuned out when all this other was on. And that's not, bro. If the competition hurt the show, the main event would have been hurt. But the main event drew on this. So it shows you the quality of the show is what led to a poor number for this. The first hour and a half of the show was terrible. I wouldn't watch that. So, all right. So next one's from Jason Turpin. The subject is CMLL. I have a couple questions about CMLL for Conan or the birthday boy if he's on this week. Last month, Conan talked about how Tessa Blanchard had a lot of heat with girls in different promotions that he didn't think she would sign anywhere soon. Days after saying this, Conan's rival CMLL announced they were bringing her in. Over the weekend, Tessa won the CMLL Grand Prix, and CMLL appears to be setting her up in a program with their top star, Stephanie Vaquer. What do you think about CMLL bringing in Tessa and booking her strong? Second question, Stephanie Vaquer and Thunder Rosa made an Instagram post together requesting the fans to tag the bosses of AEW and CMLL to make a match between them happen. Kind of weird way to build heat for a match. Tony Khan always seems open to using talent with other promotions. So does Thunder Rosa have an issue with the bosses at CMLL? Thanks, and that's from Jason Turpin. P.S. If AAA and CMLL ever do business, I'd like to see La Hiedra versus Vaquer. That's real heat. You can pontificate on this, Conan.
That's a pop. Well, Stephanie Vaquer is a girl from Chile. Yeah, that supposedly this guy choked her, right? He's in jail.
The guy that's against the jail. The rest was in jail. Right.
Yeah. And La Hiedra is dating his brother and has publicly said that this chick is lying or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that would be real heat, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think about Tessa?
La Hiedra is a tough people. What?
What do you think about Tessa?
So this guy's saying that I said nobody would sign Tessa and then CMLL signed her. Bro, I said United States, not Mexico.
Right.
Bro, and she signed on a per day. She's not on a contract. Everybody knows she's a good wrestler. But American politics don't translate here. All that SJW, snowflake, virtue signaling you do here has no, and I love it because they get mad. Oh, I can't believe they're using this guy in Mexico. Oh, I can't believe Conan. And bro, you have no idea how much I pop for that. But no mob lynching mentality doesn't work in Mexico. And I love every second of it. So they don't know what she did in Mexico, and they in the United States, they don't get, their booking are strong. She just won some tournament, but those people over there are very jealous because they don't like people coming from the outside and beating them. Get used to it.
Did
You
you
know, she
ever?
can work.
Go
What?
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
What?
I was going to say, did you ever consider bringing her into AAA? Did you kind of stay away because of the rep she had in the
She
last
was in
few?
AAA before.
I mean, did you since that incident? Did you ever consider?
No, why would I bring her in, bro? She was very disrespectful. She was like, "Oh, the only reason I'm in Mexico is because of Daga." Really? Okay. And
wow.
why do you guys do this? And why do you guys do that? I go, because, okay, newsflash, this is Lucha Libre, not U.S. wrestling. So, you know, if you want to watch that, that's what you
Really?
watch.
So she was a problem, huh?
Yeah. And, bro, it would be very uncomfortable after the way they got separated that she'd be in the same dressing room with him. And I don't want to put him in that position.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so they're not dating anymore?
They were married.
Wait, Tessa and Daga?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, she hooked up with some other guy, and he found out.
Oh, okay.
Like one of the boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Next is from Adelano Dominguez, and subject is Conan the Pizzanista. What's up, my dudes? On a late 90s, early 100s RF shoot interview with Rob Feinstein, Conan mentioned that he had random home video footage of him working at Domino's Pizza just for the hell of it. Will this footage be made available to the public one day? This guy made a mistake here. I suggest it be uploaded to YouTube immediately. Thoughts? Take care. That's Danny from Parts Unknown. What do we not do? Take here.
Okay, well, I wasn't working there. What happened and I have it in a box somewhere in my house here. I'd have to look for it. But, you know, I was living my good life, bro. I got away with a lot of including walking into a Domino's, making my own pizza. And when people walked in, I would give them their pizza to see their reaction. This is like when camcorders first came out. So, you know, when you first get it, you're recording literally everything. So, you know, it was like, you know, you imagine walking into a pizzeria and Stone Cold gives you a pizza, or Shawn Michaels. That would be kind of the extent to it. You know, I gotta find that thing. It's somewhere in my house.
Next from Bobby Wash 29, subject is Tony Khan is killing indie wrestlers. What's happening, fellas? First time email on the show, but long time listener. Tony Khan set indie wrestling back a full generation, hindering the progress of over 100 talented wrestlers on the roster. Their careers are stagnant, leaving countless fans disinterested or abandoning their sport altogether. Thanks to the promotion's exclusionary tactics. Thanks to the promotion's exclusionary tactics toward potential new fans. At best, the entire enterprise is an unfortunate waste, ultimately driven by Tony's personal fantasies rather than any meaningful purpose. Over the past 4 years, WWE has earned my immense respect for their handling professional wrestling. However, if any of my favorite wrestlers from AEW were to join WWE, they probably need a tour in the NXT brand. Because we benefit from learning fundamental aspects such as selling, ensuring safety, and working effectively with the camera, which is lacking at a high level on Tony's shows. Keep up the good work. You guys are the number one sports wrestling entertainment podcast on the planet, and give Arsenio Hall his Hall of Fame rub. Give him that K100 rub. Peace. That's from the OG Bobby Walsh.
Was Arsenio Hall on WWE?
Well, for the WWE Hall of Fame,
I'm not sure if he ever appeared on a show, but he always had those guys on back in the 90s, like Warrior and Heenan and Rude.
Oh,
and
that's
Boss
right.
Man.
He's a fan. Right.
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah. No, I will say this is that the one thing that the way AEW has presented itself over the years is that it's like it took indie wrestling and just platformed it without any real, structure, or like giving these guys new gimmicks or new outfits. Like these guys are wearing the stuff that they're wearing on the indies and stuff and everything, but then you go to NXT and like I said, they teach you how to do TV there. So yes, like a lot of these guys probably would need to go to NXT for a little bit. Like even guys that have been wrestling for 15 years had to go to NXT. Like Sam, like all those guys. The only guy that didn't go to NXT was AJ Styles. I think Sami Zayn went to NXT.
Yeah, even Rey Mysterio, they sent them to OVW.
Right. Like it's like I mean, yeah. So yeah, they just want to see if I guess they do things a certain way there, and they keep their guys. I mean, guys still get hurt a lot in wrestling, but that's the wear and tear mostly. But they try to keep their guys safe. So. Our next is Douglas Smith, and the subject is Gunther. Hello, I've been listening for a while and thought I'd ask if you guys had any thoughts on Gunther being the one to beat Reigns. Do a heel version of Hogan versus Warrior with Gunther going over and then running a program with Cody. Just a thought. Thanks. That's from Doug. Nah, he's not. he's not the type of guy that would get over with the fans to beat Roman. I don't think. You know, I don't think
Well,
he'd
you
get
don't
enough
have to get
heel
behind
heat.
him. He's a heel.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think he'd have enough heel heat. You know, because
Well, they
he's
could
got a
build
kind of
it.
like a
You don't
foreign.
think that match
Yeah,
would draw really, or it wouldn't be special?
I don't think. I mean, I don't think he's the guy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think he's the guy to
doing his
meet him.
own
But
thing, right? Yeah,
I think it would be a highly anticipated match if they put those guys together at a pay-per-view and said, "Hey, in 4 weeks they're going to wrestle." You know,
right. Yeah, no, they would probably draw a number, but it wouldn't be like, oh god, this, the
Yeah.
guy that got their right now you would think Cody, Randy Orton if he comes back, maybe like Braun Breaker if they bring him in and give him a push, stuff and thing. Those are the guys I would think are on the radar to like beat Roman. Would you agree with that, Conan?
Well, I would have a different list. I would say Cody, believe it or not, Drew, and Jay Uso. I would even like to throw Sammy in there, but I don't think that's.
What about
fits
LA
the mold
Knight?
of what LA Knight's another one.
Yeah, he's got a shot this weekend. So we'll see.
Solo's another one.
Yeah.
Hank
I don't know.
I
don't know if you guys saw this, but being the sports fans you are, you might find it. You might have wanted to know Bobby Knight died.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, yeah, it just came out.
I didn't realize he was 83 years old. I thought he was older than that, to be honest with you.
Yep.